Welcome back to News in Focus. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, on Sunday, Deputy President Paul Mashatile made a stern message that any attack on the South African Police Service constitutes an attack on the state itself. Now, this occurred during an address at the SAPS National Commemoration Day, which took place at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Mashatile stressed that such acts are equivalent to treason and should be met with decisive and unwavering action from the government. Joining me now, I'd like to welcome Bethuel Nkuna, who is the president of the Independent Policing Union of South Africa. He joins me on the line. Mr. Nkuna, good day. Thank you so much for joining us here on News in Focus on Hilaal TV.
Good day to you and good day to your listeners and your viewers.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Mr. Nkuna, listening to that speech, obviously, on Sunday, I know there are so many police officers from various ranks that are part of your union. I think one of the biggest grievances is the real protection that they have against criminals who are really operating on quite a different level.
And thank you very much once again. And as the Independent Policing Union of South Africa, we are echoing the sentiments of the Deputy President that anyone who attacks our law enforcement agents, that person is committing treason, because that is equivalent to betraying the country, because it is that crime. It's about someone whom they are killing, people to whom they must show allegiance to. So, but as we look from within as IPUSA, we are also asking for the SAPS management in terms of protecting our men and women in blue to somehow review the current policing model, because the one that is being utilized now is making our members to be vulnerable to the criminals.
Okay, so you talk about changing the model or the management model. What is it that IPUSA would like to see from the South African Police Service?
We would like SAPS to decentralize resources, because the model that is being utilized now, everything is centralized. When we look at SAPS has been appointing, capacitating in terms of human resources. When we look at our previous 3 financial years, we had about 10,000 policemen and women who were appointed in phases. But our problem with that is because are those members being allocated to where they are needed? Because you first have to have an environmental analysis to capacitate units that really needs capacitation. And that can only be done by the empowerment of our provincial commissioners. Must be empowered. Our district commissioners who are working closely with the police station on the ground, they must be resourced fully through the human resource, through financial. They must be able to make financial decisions, so that as and when each and every police station in each and every district where the district commissioner has powers, they will be able to allocate resources accordingly. Because currently we just appoint randomly. We appoint human resource while we don't even have material resources. We have police stations with no police vans, but then we also had the minister who will run the subs via imbizos. We've got poor station commanders who are on daily basis requesting to have vehicles to incapacitate a VISPOL, the unit that is closer to the people. But those station commanders are not being assisted. But then the politicizing of the resources, but as and when a minister call imbizos, they are able to just release about 15 new vehicles to a station that does not necessarily need those vehicles. So if our district commissioners can be empowered, let them do environmental analysis, let them identify what is needed where, and then we allocate the resources accordingly. Our policemen and women can be protected. And to add on that, we do have operations such as Operation Chanela.
Yes.
That is also administered from the provincial level. But the level of crime in this country now requires each and every police station to have men and women in blue who are doing the same thing that Operation Chanela is doing. And that should be done on daily basis where people can, the policemen can conduct their stop and searches, and also the communities to assist the police, because the policing cannot only be the responsibility of the SAPS without the assistance of the community. So if we can have the same operation as the operation channels are doing, but those should be allocated to police station to operate on daily basis, other than being done as a special operation.
Mr. Nkuna, I want to touch on what the provincial commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, the police commissioner there, had said about an operation they did last night where they found armed gangs. Yes, and a part of these armed gangs consisted of children, and this is coming from the police commissioner from that part of the country, saying that they have armed gangs with age numbers of matriculants. These children could either be in Standard 9 or in Matric. And they are shooting at police officers, and there's no real mercy there. And there's a worry with regards to certain officers where, you know, they really don't want to fight fire with fire. But in that province, it seems to be one where it's demanding of the officers. Are any of the members of your union facing such attacks? And how are they dealing with it? And what would IPUSA be saying to its members? Because at the end of the day, they are humans and their lives are in danger.
Yeah, the men and women in blue, they are facing a really they are like let me put it this way: they are between the rock and the deep blue sea, because they are, through our democratic principles, they are not allowed to just shoot randomly. And now, even when they are defending themselves, they are viewed as being trigger happy. But the same cannot be said when they are being killed, when their lives is in danger. So that is where we are appealing to the powers that be to look at these matters. As IPUSA, we wouldn't mind to have each and every person who kills a police officer to also face the same consequences. We understand we're in a democratic space where we no longer have death penalty, but we are saying treason is a crime of betraying one's country. So if anyone kills a police officer, that particular person is betraying our country.
Mr. Nkuna, extortion is growing. We're hearing of a lot of it within the Eastern Cape. Now, there are reports from the ground in the Eastern Cape that there are certain police officers who are acting really not that hard on dealing with these extortion gangs. From IPUSA's perspective, how would the union want police officers to deal with extortion in protecting the communities that are really vulnerable with regards to that?
We will go back to reiterate on our issue of allocating resources to the ground level, because we need our police stations to be closer to crime intelligence. Crime intelligence, they are the ones who must be detecting such information before a proof. So if we can have our crime intelligence that are closer to our police officers, our police stations, such incidences can be detected. The random shooting of people in taverns and all those kind of things, they may be detected way before they can even happen. But right now, everything is centralized, which is a process to get people on the ground to get such information. But the empowerment of our district commissioners, allocation of the correct and proper resources to the local level, because the crime is happening on the ground level, and that is where we need all the resources to be allocated to.
Mr. Nkuna, thank you so much for joining us here on News in Focus on Hilaal TV. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
It's a pleasure. It's Bethuel Nkuna. He is the Independent Policing Union of South Africa president. Now, we went to the streets to ask various citizens of our country whether or not they still have faith in the police. Take a listen.
South African police service are doing very well in terms of patrols and going around. I mean, I think they are doing very well in terms of crime and all that. I really appreciate their work.
Ngoba asekho safe asikhona ukuhamba ebusuku thina sibogogo siwes babheka nale inwele zethu bathi nangu ugogo vele basilandele so nespeed asinaso Siyacela ukuthi amaphoyisa man asibhekelele la izindleleni babe khona bahamba hambe ba patrol.
Honestly, I do think there still needs a lot of work in the policing side of South Africa. There's a lot of people who aren't safe, who aren't kept up great, no one's protected. But I feel like in areas or in good areas such as Sandton, more like Sunning Hill, Rivonia-ish, those areas, it's a bit better. The situation's a bit better.
We need to see the police because when we are asleep, there's people who are jumping our fences to gain access to our properties, our homes, our cars. Many things are being stolen and they break through the houses even during the day.
If you were to compare it directly, I would say Cape Town is probably the one place that's like revolutionized the whole system where it's safe enough to walk around Greenpoint and Sea Point areas, but also those are upper class, upper market areas.
Hayi ngifila kahle ngamapholisa asebenza kahle umsebenzi omuhle kakhulu. Nami noma ngisebenzela lapha esitaradeni kuyadobhedobheka kungcono kakufani lokuhlala.
The way I see them all around, corner to corner, you can see the police, they're going up and down. So what they are doing, they are trying to reduce a crime. So there is not too much crime around.
So we like to see these police vans moving around townships, not that they don't have any other duties. We understand they do, but let's see a van and people, I think, will get scared and they will run away or they will stop crime.
I-crime yona isese high ngoba siyangenelwa emizini abantwana bayatshontshwa so asazi ukuthi leyo izophela kanjani ngoba yiyo esiwarisha kakhulu.
So I do think South African police needs a better light, maybe do some rebranding, improve their own self-image so we don't just see them as like corruption, they take bribes, etc. Because I do think there are great police officers out there who are doing the jobs, who are keeping the cities protected at night and the day. But yeah, I think there's still a lot of work, still a lot of things that we can all improve on as South Africans. But in general, I think we are heading towards a brighter future.
Let the police be honest themselves because we hear that there's thugs that are working with the police, hijackers that are working with the police. When information is at hand, those thugs already know what is happening.
The only thing that I have a problem with is that when there is a crime and you call them, it's like they're quite a bit slow on arrival.
As communities, we are trying to have some CCTVs where we stay, like around where I stay. We've contributed money so that we can have CCTVs so that we can view and see who the thugs were. Unfortunately, we can't see them at the time they commit the crime. We only see them after the crime has happened. So we need police more than anything, their visibility.
A lovely insert there shot by my super producer, Rafiwa Gamshu, and my super camera operator, Tabo Touch Mbeje. We thank them so much for providing us with that. Unfortunately, we've come towards the end of News in Focus. Actually, it is the end of News in Focus. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on our various social media. I'd like to thank my Vision Mix Yemi, my sound operator, Welcome Zwane, my producer, Rafiwa, and my camera operator, Tabo Mbeje, and our editor, Mohammed Parker, for making this broadcast possible. From myself, Ross Patel, the rest of the team in Johannesburg, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.